Dear students, welcome back to our online class series. As you know, we are reading the Tyger poem, which was written by William Blake. It is a lyrical poem. We are going to analyze the poem today. So let's begin without wasting any time. This is the first stanza of the poem. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? William Blake begins this quatrain or this stanza with Tiger, tiger, burning bright. Right away, he uses repetition to catch the reader's eye. The word tiger is a symbol of all creation. In his poem, The Lamb, he has written another poem. He wrote another poem that was titled The Lamb, that was completely contrary poem to this poem. And in that poem he uses lamb as a symbol of innocent mankind, whereas the tiger is a much more wild, mysterious and ferocious animal, capable of great good and terrifying evil. And in this poem he uses tiger completely opposite to the lamb, and he says that tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night. Tiger, in the real literal sense, he is not burning, but he is appearing different. He is appearing to be burning. He is of orange color, so it appears to the poet that his color is so fast that it appears to be burning. And moreover, there are black strips on the tiger's body that also contrasts with the orange color. So he says, in the forests of the night. And in the third line, he says, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? Then in the third line, uh, William Blake expresses his surprise, and he says that what kind of hand or eye could be that has the courage to frame a fearful body like you. ऐसा कौन होगा, ऐसे कौन से हाथ होंगे, ऐसी कौन सी आँखें होंगी जिन्होंने तुम्हारी ये भय से भरी हुई जो इतना विशाल का है तुम्हारा शरीर है वो बनाया होगा, किसी ने तुम्हारे शेप को बनाया होगा, जिसको देखते ही हर कोई फियर से भर जाता है, डर से भर जाता है, ऐसा वो इसमें कहते हैं. Blake then supports that idea by describing tiger as burning, the burning bright meaning being so ferocious, being so capable, so intelligent, and having the power to do anything. Going along the idea of the tiger being a wild, mysterious creature, he uses powerful imagery with the line, in the forests of the night. This imagery creates an awesome scene of a dark, mysterious environment in which the tiger is lurking or walking. This suggests that the tiger is like a creature of the night, very dark, very mysterious, and again capable of doing unknown goods and evils. Blake ends his quatrain with a rhetorical question: what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? The immortal hand or eye Blake uses is referring to God, who made tiger. So he is saying what God could create or frame something that is both beautiful, symmetrical, and also so terrifying and fearful. The God who created such a creature is fearful because he made this beautiful creature of mankind to have free will. With free will means that they can choose to do right or wrong, right and wrong, and that is itself it's terrifying. So that was the first stanza. Now let's move on to the second stanza. In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? How lyrical, how musical the stanza is. Blake begins the second stanza with some imagery as well as another rhetorical question. In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? By terms distant deeps or skies, Blake is using an allusion to create a picture of heaven and hell. Actually, the line burnt the fire of thine eyes is directed at God. These are God's eyes. Blake is asking who was the God who created the tiger. Was he the God in heaven or in skies, or was he created by Lucifer, who is the God in the hell or distant deeps? The next two lines are more rhetorical questions, where he asks, "On what wings dare he aspire, and what the hand dare seize the fire?" Again, he is wondering what God could create such a creature like the tiger. Was he a god who is sitting on wings, or is he a god who has to work with blazing fire? With a blazing fire. However, Blake was known to like using the Greek gods in his works. The question on what wings dare he aspire could refer to Icarus. Icarus created wings so that he could fly free of labyrinth. The second rhetorical question, what the hand dare seize the fire, could refer to god Prometheus. Prometheus is a god who stole the fire from Zeus and gave it to the mankind. So Blake is asking who would dare seize the fire with their hands. Well, Prometheus dared to seize the fire so he could share it with man. Each question used powerful images to enhance the content of the text. So this was the second text uh, stanza of the poem. Now let's move on to the next stanza. This is the third stanza. And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? In this third stanza, Blake uses yet another rhetorical question directed to us: who created this creature? He uses powerful imagery to provide a picture of a god literally molding, creating the tiger. And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? In these lines, the thy is referring to the tiger, could twist the sinews of thy heart. Blake uses the word twisted to remind us of the free will God made man with. The twisted is also to remind how twisted or sometimes corrupt humans can be. Later in the stanza, Blake asks another question pertaining again to who could make a frightening creature. Blake uses imagery to show how the heart of this beast begins to beat, and then once God had made the heart beat, he says, "What dread hand and what dread feet?" This shows how God again asks himself if he dared creating such a magnificent creature that is capable of both good and evil. If I simply put this stanza in simple words, then here again William Blake is expressing his surprise, his astonishment that who could be the God who created such a beautiful and such a fearful tiger, or the creature? What kind of strength he would have used, and what kind of craftsmanship or the skill he might have used, he could have used to make this creature, and what kind of those hands were that created the heart of the tiger. And when that heart began to beat, how fearful the hand and the feet of tiger might have appeared. और जब वो दिल धड़कना शुरू किया होगा उस दिल ने, तब टाइगर के पैर और टाइगर के हाथ या पूरी टाइगर की बॉडी है वो कितनी फियरफुल प्रतीत हुई होगी, दिखी होगी जब पहली बार इसको बनाया गया होगा, ऐसा वो कहना चाहते हैं. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द फोर्थ स्टेंजा. What the hammer, what the chain, in what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp, dare its deadly terror clasp? The fourth stanza in Blake's poem begins with an awesome allusion referring to Greek god Hephaestus. Hephaestus is the blacksmith god of fire and metallurgy who was plagued with a lame leg and toiled under the volcano mountain Etna, creating weapons, armor, and artwork for other gods who disdained him for his ugliness. What the hammer, what the chain, in what furnace was thy brain? From the words, Blake presents the image of godlike Hephaestus in a dark hell-like place, just hammering away to create this beast by saying, "In which furnace was thy brain?" Blake is implying the tiger to be made of hard metallic stuff. In the next line, he uses "what the anvil" to again paint the picture of godlike Hephaestus hammering away on an anvil to create the tiger out of metallic substances. To close the stanza, Blake uses a lot of dark, ominous words: "what dread grasp, dare its deadly terror clasp." The word dread, dare, deadly, and terrors are words that describe something evil. Blake chooses to use these words to paint an image of the tiger being an evil creature, which begins to lean us away from the assumption that the tiger was created by God in heaven and therefore capable of good as well as evil. The tiger and its deadly terror clasp is more imagery to remind us that tiger is dark, mysterious, and horrifying. So this was the stanza. Now let's move on to the next stanza. When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lame made thee? This is the fifth stanza of the poem. Blake starts his fifth quatrain with powerful imagery as well as allusion. When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, the imagery in these two lines clearly forms some kind of picture. Blake, however, had some hidden symbolism in the words in these lines. It is an old tale that the twinkling of stars are the angels in the heaven. Looking closely, it can be suggested that the word stars means angels, so angels are throwing down their spears. Why else would they do that except for during the wars of angels? There was a time that Lucifer became enraged and rebelled against God and his angels. Lucifer then went up uh, into the heavens and battled with God and his angels. When it says stars threw down their spears, it is talking about when God's angels defeated Lucifer's angels by using spears. The next part of these lines, "and watered heaven with their tears," is also speaking about the holy war of the angels. The angels of God are watering the heaven with their tears because they feel compassion to their angel brother who follow Lucifer. The next two lines of the poem are again a few rhetorical questions. However, this time they begin to suggest something different. So far, most of the questions have led us to believe that the tiger is evil, so its creator would inherently be Lucifer. This time, the question points to the conclusion that it was in fact God who made the tiger. But when happy, but was God happy with the results of his creation of mankind or the tiger? Did he smile to work his work to see? This line is the support for the question: was God happy with what he created? Did he actually smile to see what the tiger has or can do with its free will? Line 20 reads, did he who made the lame make thee? This is where the table turns towards God as creator of the tiger, not Lucifer. In Blake's other poems, the lamb is a symbol of perfection and innocence. It is a creation of so pure, unable of doing wrong. Being that the tiger is not perfect and pure, it is hard to believe that same God created both these creatures. However, Blake has intended the rhetorical question in line 20 to show us that they were perfect. They were in fact made by the same creator, and creator is the God in heaven. So this was the fifth stanza. Now let's move on to the sixth stanza, which is actually repetition of the first stanza, except the word dare. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? In the first stanza, he uses could instead of dare, but he here uses dare. The sixth and final quatrain of the poem is a recap of the first quatrain. He uses repetition to bring back the tiger, tiger burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry. Those three lines are identical to the first three lines of the poem. The tiger links to mankind. The burning bright refers to the flourishing and ferocity of the tiger. The line in the forest of the night again is used as imagery to get the readers to a picture dark mysterious environment, implying that the tiger is a creature of the night. Lastly, the immortal hand or eye is a symbol of higher power. What God is what God is the one who created the tiger, a creature that is both terrifying and beautiful at the same time. There is one difference that Blake made in his final stanza from the rest one. The difference comes in the last line of the poem. In the 24th, in the final stanza, Blake asked, could frame thy fearful symmetry, meaning, is God actually capable of creating a creature so terrifying yet beautiful? In line 24 of the poem, Blake changes his question to ask, there frame thy fearful symmetry. Now the question is not if God is powerful enough to create a creature like the tiger, but what God would even dare to create a creature so terrifying? Would he dare create the tiger with free will, knowing that free will may lead them astray from worshipping the Lord? There is one central point that Blake wanted to get through to us in his poems. The lamb and the tiger, it was God who created both the tiger and the lamb. Although they are different and the tiger is said to possess traits of evil, God knew what he was doing and he made the tiger to be free so we could live happily. Again and again in the these explanation we saw that the tiger here has been said as the symbol of mankind somewhere. So this is a different point of view for understanding the poem. By the way, I am indebted to these two sources for these explanations. I am highly indebted to these two sources. So thank you very much. This was the explanation of the poem. I hope you might have understood the poem. Thank you very much.